Okay, so section 4.5, we're going to look at logarithmic equations. So a logarithmic equation is an equation that has a logarithm of a variable in it. So for example, log base 2 of x plus 2 equals 5. All right, and we're going to follow these basic steps to solve log equations. So step 1 is to isolate the log term. If there is more than one log term, you need to first use our log rules to combine so that you have just one log term on one side of the equation. Step 2 is to rewrite the equation in exponential form. Step 3 is to solve, and I'm just going to add one more step here, and that is to check your answers, because you can't take the log of a negative number or 0. You need to make sure that none of your answers are going to cause you to take the log of a negative number. So step 4 is to check your answer or answers. Okay, so let's look at the first two here. Okay, so the natural log of x is 8. Okay, so step 1 is to isolate the log term. That is already done for us. Step 2 is to rewrite in exponential form. Okay, so instead of writing the natural log of x equals 8, I'm going to say e to the 8 equals x. All right, and then if you use your calculator to approximate e to the 8th power, we find that it's close to 2,981. Okay, let's look at part B. So log base 2 of 25 minus x equals 3. So again, the log function is already isolated. We have one log term on one side of the equation. So step 2 is to write this in exponential form. So I'm going to write it as 2 to the 3rd power equals 25 minus x. 2 to the 3rd power is 8. Okay, and to solve for x, subtract 25. So 8 minus 25 is 17. Negative 17 equals negative x. So x is 17. Check your answer. 25 minus 17 is 8. And we can take the log base 2 of 8. That is, in fact, 3. Okay, so those didn't require us to do the first step. Let's look at one that's a little more complicated. Okay, so I have 4 plus 3 times the log of 2x equals 16. Okay, so the log of 2x is what I want to isolate. So I need to move the 4 and the 3. So start by subtracting 4 from both sides. So 3 times the log of 2x equals 12. Divide by 3. So the log of 2x equals 4. The log term is isolated. Step 2 is to write in exponential form. So this is really log base 10. So that means 10 to the 4th power equals 2x. So 10,000 equals 2x. Divide by 2. And x is 5,000. You just want to go back and check your answer. So 4 plus 3 times the log of 2 times 5,000, which is 10,000. The log of 10,000 is 4. And that is 16. So that checks. All right, let's look at example 8. So the log of x plus 2 plus the log of x minus 1 equals 1. Okay, so step 1, we want to write this as one single log term. So the log of a plus the log of b is equal to the log of a times b. So this is equal to the log of x plus 2 times x minus 1. And it's the log of this whole thing. All right, so I'm going to expand this. So I'm going to write it as the log of x squared plus x minus 2 equals 1. Okay, so my log is now isolated, so I'm going to rewrite this in exponential form. So this is log base 10. So 10 to the first power equals x squared plus x minus 2. In order to solve this, I want to make one side equal to 0, so subtract 10. So 0 equals x squared plus x minus 12. And this factors to x plus 4, x minus 3. So the two solutions are -4 and 3. I want to make sure that I go back and check these. Okay, so if I try to check the first one, the log of x plus 2, so the log of -4 plus 2 would mean that I would need to evaluate the log of a negative, which doesn't exist. So this is an extraneous solution. Oops. And then when I test the other one, the log of 3 plus 2 is 5, plus the log of 3 minus 1 is 2. So if I combine these, that's the log of 10, which is 1. So this one checks. So there's one solution at 3. Okay, and then let's look at solving graphically. Okay, so we want to solve the equation x squared equals 2 times the natural log of x plus 2. All right, so we're going to move everything to one side. So x squared equals 2 times the log of x plus 2. I'm going to subtract x squared from both sides, so I have 0 equals 2 natural log x plus 2 minus x squared. And what I'm going to do is, on my calculator, graph this. So in your calculator, you would type 2 natural log of x plus 2 minus x squared, and when you graph it, it looks like a parabola. No, not like that. More like this. All right, so this is the graph. So you're looking for the intercepts because you're looking where it's equal to 0. So this appears to be close to -0.71. This one, if you zoom in, it's close to 1.6. So those would be the two solutions. Again, you want to always make sure that you check them. Neither one is going to be a problem in this case because the natural log of x plus 2, so the natural log of -0.71 plus 2, that will come out positive. And then the natural log of 1.6 plus 2 will also be positive. So both are going to be solutions.